Welcome to episode 41 of Pinnacle FC. Gareth Wheeler, Jake Osgathorpe with you. I love the Japan kit today. If you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, hit the subscribe, smash that like button. Jake's outdoing me. I mean, I got my Pinnacle shirt on right now, which is class. But right there, what you're wearing today, Jake, much better than the Dallas Cowboys kit from a week ago.
Yeah, I agree. This is a lot more comfortable to wear. I don't know if soccer shirts, if you'd agree, are much more comfortable to wear than American football shirts. But the Cowboys had a good draft. I was quite happy with the draft. But yeah, I just saw this and I was like, oh, it's a really sunny day. I'm going to wear something nice and light, something breathable. Walking to and from nursery, I was like, yeah, that'll do. Perfect. It's the 2022 World Cup edition. So
Brilliant. Yeah, at least football kits, unlike other jerseys and other sports, you can actually wear them with a level of style. Let's put it that way. You can't be walking around wearing a Dallas Cowboys shirt and having any sort of self-respect, at least in public spaces. For at home on the couch watching the game, that's fine, but hardly style icons. Look, perhaps Arsenal could have used a little bit more Tomiyasu against PSG in the first leg. It was a 1-0 final. How good was Donnarumma? It's good to get an early week play that hits. As I back PSG on the handicap, I like the goalkeeper. I like the midfield. I like how they're regularly an attacking threat. I know that Arsenal had their chances, had a goal called back as well, but how many posts did PSG hit? 2 or 3 in the game as well. I just thought PSG were full value and Arsenal are going to be in tough. They're still in the tie, but still going to be in tough heading into the second leg next week.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. Donnarumma was the difference, really. I landed a nice win as well with the under. That was never in doubt, was it? But yeah, it's something we touched upon actually on Monday's show. Like I just felt as long as Arsenal were in the tie heading to France, I think they've still got a great chance of doing it because I think you saw the different avenues in which they can hurt PSG. Like they had 2 1-on-1s, so they created those opportunities, and they also were a really, really big threat from set pieces, which is something that PSG have struggled with all season. I think 38% of the goals that PSG have conceded have come from set pieces. So there's loads of reasons to be optimistic for Arsenal fans. And let's not forget, although it was a massive smash and grab, Liverpool went there and won not so long ago, and 1-0 win would obviously take time and give Arsenal a great chance. So yeah, tie's wide open. I don't think it's going to be one-sided in Paris.
Look at that. Jake Osgathorpe trying to provide some optimism. You can follow along with him at Oz.
I'm not always a Debbie Downer.
The Dembele factor as well. I'm not sure if you've seen word on what the issue may have been, him coming off early. I mean, that's a big player. I know that Barcola can step right in, an excellent player in his own right, but Dembele's been different gravy, especially in this competition. So we'll see how that all plays out next week. There's some value if you want to back Arsenal to advance from that tie. As we do on our midweek shows, we look at the weekend that will be across European football's top leagues. The markets that we use are on and courtesy of Pinnacle, BetSmart, Bet Pinnacle. I'm just going to keep on doing this, puffing out my chest all show. And as we do on this podcast, with no cup competitions going on the weekend, we'll start off in the Premier League this weekend. I have one match circled, first and foremost. I wonder if you can predict where I'm going here, because it's hardly a glamour tie, but it's a game that I want to put in a bet on. Any hint?
Well, I mean, given the way in which you build it, I'm guessing it's Leicester Southampton.
Bing, bing, bing. Leicester City, Southampton, the 2 worst sides in the Premier League. They play this weekend, and the total is 2.75. I'm smashing that over, Jake. Like, come on, what are these sides playing for? And neither can defend. Let's just go through it. Leicester City haven't had a clean sheet in 30 games in all competitions. They've conceded 76 on the Premier League, and their expected goals against in the Premier League is even worse. It's just about 80. They've lost 9 straight games in the Premier League at home without scoring a goal. If you can't score a goal against Southampton, they should put you down 2 divisions and not just 1. Because Southampton have conceded 80 on the Premier League season, and their expected goals against is north of 90, and they have 1 away win in 17 games. They're a team that regularly plays to the over in 8 of 10. Both teams' score has played in 6 of 7. And on top of it all, they played to a 3-2 result in October as well. And they're playing for pride. They're just playing for fun. Like, this game for me, the total is short on this one. I'm happy to make a play in the Stinkfest, Leicester City and Southampton.
Yeah, I had this play written down and then I deleted it because I just remembered that these two teams are crap. And the chances are that neither of them are going to score. It'll probably finish 0-0. But
Come on.
I fully see your logic. I think it is the shackles are off, if you like, free hit territory. Teams they can open up and have a good go, can't they? But it's just that nagging doubt. You're talking about teams that have scored 25 times in 34 games and 27 times in 34 games. Like, it's not their best strike rates that they've got going forward. They do need confidence, so they'll both be going for a win. Obviously, Southampton need one more point to beat Derby's record tally, or record low tally of fewest points in a Premier League season. So, I like I said, I had that down initially, and I just thought I found a little bit more across the board that I liked, so it didn't quite make my list.
Well, it's definitely right near the top of my list. We'll see if it makes my podium plays at the end of this podcast. What are you looking out for or looking at in terms of Premier League plays this weekend?
So my favourite bets I'm focused mainly on the games that mean something and that matter, because I think they're the ones you can rely upon. Teams' season-long process, basically, in terms of when you're deducing how things are going to go. And so I'll start with Villa Fulham, which is a big game. It's 12:30 UK time on the Saturday. It's Villa 7th. They lost last time out to City. Obviously, were well beaten in the FA Cup. But they've got to win every game now if they're realistically going to finish in the top 5 and secure Champions League football. Fulham, they're currently 8th, which probably gets them a Conference League spot. So they can't afford too many more slip-ups. We've got Brighton and Bournemouth breathing down the necks. I think it's just going to be a bit of a ding-dong end-to-end. You've got two teams that create plenty of chances but can't keep clean sheets. And Fulham's record was, I was initially looking at Villa to win at -126. I'm sweet on Villa. But the record Fulham's against the top 7 teams in the division is really good this season. They've won 6, drawn 2 and lost 4. So they've avoided defeat in 75% of those matches. But then if you dig a bit deeper, you see that goals are very, very prevalent whenever they play against those sides. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals has landed in 10 of those 12 matches. And 5 of Fulham's 6 away games against the current top 7. So that's the angle I'm taking, really. Both teams scoring overs at +114. Villa, they continue to struggle to keep teams out, conceded nearly 1.5 expected goals against per game this season. Both teams to score has landed in 14 of Villa's 17 home matches. And both teams to score in overs has landed in 11 of those 17. And against top 10 opponents at home, Aston Villa have gone both teams to score over 2.5 goals in 6 of 8. So I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout. Both teams are going to have a go. Both teams are going to get on the score sheet. But if it's 1-1 after an hour, they both need to win. So someone's going to score an extra goal.
Okay. Nothing for me. Let's keep it moving. What else are you looking at?
Well, we talked about Arsenal at the top of the show. I think they're very easily opposable this week. Yep. The handicap has moved since I initially did my notes. It was a half a goal for Bournemouth. It's now a quarter of a goal, but I'm still just going to take the half a goal. The price is still backable, in my opinion. You're -125. Arsenal's record post-Europe is actually pretty good. They've won 6 of 12. They're unbeaten in that time, so they don't lose off the back of a European game. But they haven't won enough to sustain that title challenge. And yeah, they 4 of those wins did come against the bottom 6 teams. So if you take those away, then they're 2 wins and 6 draws against the rest of the league following a European game. Factor in a thin squad with plenty of injuries already. They're trailing from the first leg in Champions League. They're going to rest and rotate quite heavily. The title's gone, so they've got nothing to play for, really. When it comes to the league table, they're currently 7 points clear of 5th or 6th place, depending on how Nottingham Forest get on tomorrow. So they're going to finish in the top 5 and qualify for Champions League again. I don't see a reason why they would take this game pretty seriously. And obviously, as I mentioned, Bournemouth, it's a big game for them. Every game's big for them if they want to finish in the 8th and secure European football. And yeah, their away form's been really good this season against the good. I say really good. It's not really good. It's been good. They've only lost 1 of 6 away games against the current top 8. But they've only won 1 as well. They've drawn 4 of those. They've avoided defeating 5 of 6, which is all we'd need for this bet to win. Underlying process-wise, excellent. They sit 3rd for expected points when it comes to away matches. underlying process, and the 2 expected goals for, 1.5 expected goals against per game. And Arsenal's recent home matches, they've been held by Villa, held by Brentford, held by Palace. I think Bournemouth can go there, get a result.
Yeah, just add on, you're right. They're third in away expected points. When you're speaking about the process, according to our good friends at Understat, only Liverpool and Arsenal are better away sides. And they actually have the second highest expected goal total away from home as well, only behind Liverpool. Same play for me, but the markets have shifted out, as Jake said, on Pinnacle from minus 115 on Tuesday night to minus 128 if you want to back him at half a goal on the handicap. This will continue to move, so get on it or you're going to miss your chance. I can only see one-way traffic in terms of where the money's going here. Anything else this weekend, Jake?
Yeah, another game with a lot riding on it. Brighton versus Newcastle. Similar predicaments to what we've discussed in the Villa game. Newcastle, they've got it in their own hands to finish in the top 5. They've got a 2-point cushion as it stands, so they can't afford to drop too many points. Brighton, they're just behind Fulham, who sit 8th on goal difference. So again, they're looking to finish 8th and finish in the Conference League. So it's a massive game for both. But I just think at the prices, we have to get Brighton on side. I know Newcastle have been excellent, but Brighton thrive in these kind of environments when they're playing against teams that actually have a go at them, play toe-to-toe football. This is their bread and butter. Brighton really struggle when they're playing against teams that sit back, are very, very difficult to break down, don't provide them with much space in transition, but Newcastle won't do that. So if you look at Brighton's record this season against teams currently in the top half, they've won 5, drawn 2, and lost just once, which is a phenomenal record. Obviously, I think they're yet to play Liverpool, but everybody else they've fared very, very well against. The only defeat was against Aston Villa when they were in the middle of that red-hot run before they played PSG. So, yeah, I'm more than happy to get them on side on this handicap. You're getting a quarter of a goal head start at minus 118. So half our money on draw no bet, half our money on Brighton or the draw. And like I said, Newcastle is very, very good away from home in terms of the results. The underlying process is not as good as the results would suggest. So they are posting a plus 0.2 expected goal difference per game when travelling, which is 6th best in the division. And yeah, defensively, they're conceding around 1.5 expected goals against per game. So they will be pretty vulnerable. And Brighton did go up to St James's Park and beat them in the reverse.
No bet for me, but a reminder that is a Sunday fixture. I believe you have one more play in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, it's more of a price play than anything. I just think it's daft to see Liverpool dangled at plus 221 to win at Chelsea. Yeah, it just seems like a big overreaction to Liverpool kind of confirming the title. I think they'll want to finish the season strongly. They'll want to carry some momentum into next season. They'll not want to lose the next 4 matches. I think they're going to be playing with freedom, which makes them more dangerous because for most of the season, or nearly all the season, Slot's been playing a very controlled brand of football, winning games 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. I think now that they've got over the line, I think they could really go gung-ho and do some serious damage in attack. And yeah, it's a big game for Chelsea. Like I said, they're another team that are in that battle for Champions League football. They're currently 5th, but as I said, Forest play Brentford on Thursday. They could leapfrog Chelsea with a point, so they would be outside of the top 5. They need all the results they can get, but they're travelling to Sweden on Thursday in a semi-final of the Conference League. We've seen that Maresca likes to play a pretty strong team in that competition, so there's every chance that they rotate in between legs depending on the result, or if he doesn't rotate, then you've got tired legs playing against the runaway or best team in the division. So I'm more than happy to take Liverpool. You can take them on the handicap, but I think I'll be a bit greedy at the price and take them just straight win at plus 221.
I totally get that. I'm just going to play it a little bit more safe and play Liverpool on the handicap at minus 103. It's still a cracking price for me at plus a quarter of a goal. I don't think the story's being told how good Liverpool have been away from home. They have a 38.19 expected point total away from home, which is the best by over 6 expected points. They have the best expected goals against at just 16.9, and their expected goal total away from home was 44.81. That's over 11 expected goals, better than anyone else. And they don't lose to Chelsea. They haven't lost to Chelsea in 10. I know there was that stretch where they drew each other each and every time out. But now Liverpool won 3 in a row against them. They've also played to the under in 6 of 8, but because of the freedom, I think it makes them a dangerous proposition. So I have no problem playing them outright. I'll just play it a little bit safe because I think Chelsea in this circumstance would take the draw, considering it's sandwiched between a trip to Sweden and their semifinal Conference League tie and against the top team in the league. I think they take a draw, and I think that's a probable result for this one, but I do understand why anyone would back Liverpool heading into this game as well. I was tempted by West Ham Spurs. West Ham at
Well, taking West Ham win.
but West Ham they've been a tough watch for me under Graham Potter. I'm leaning that way just because Spurs make a trip to the Arctic Circle like next Thursday, and this game is meaningless. And they're a horrible away side as well.
It's not meaningless. This is the biggest game of their 2 seasons. Who wants to finish 4th bottom? That's the battle that they're going for right now. West Ham 17th, just a point behind 16th place Tottenham. What a game that is in store.
It's just because West Ham haven't won in 7. Last time they won games, they won back-to-back against Southampton, and somehow they beat Arsenal. They have, over the course of those 7 games, I don't believe West Ham have played a London side, and typically this season they played better against sides within their own city. But I'm considering that play. That'll be a wait to see what Thursday maybe looks like, and then I can maybe go forward from there. That's it in the Premier League for me. A quiet weekend there. I like the Serie A fixtures, but before we go to Italy, let's make a trip to Spain. Anything catching your eye this weekend on the markets from Pinnacle in La Liga?
Yeah, it's never easy to, or it's never comfortable to oppose any of the big teams in Spain. But I think at the prices, we've kind of got to get Celta on the handicap against Real Madrid on Sunday. You're getting a 1.5 goal head start. So if Celta lose by a goal, you get a full win.
Yeah.
And we've seen all's not right at Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti's got a foot out the door. He's going to be the new Brazil head coach by all accounts. Complete and utter head loss last week in the Copa del Rey final. I think 3 players got sent off. Their suspensions are irrelevant. Rudiger, he's done his MCL. He's out for the season anyway, but he's got a 6-match ban. Jude Bellingham, his was rescinded. Vasquez is suspended for 2 games in next season's Copa. So they've still got squad available, but they look tired. They look devoid of ideas. They look pretty easy to play against. Barcelona, obviously, very good attacking team, had no problem creating chances. And it's just not a very nice environment at the moment at Real Madrid. And yes, they are still in the title race, but they need a lot to go their way. Especially because Barcelona play Valladolid, which you'd imagine is an automatic win this weekend. So, if Real Madrid drop any more points, it probably is curtains. And I think they could drop points here because Celta are a very, very solid side. They're bang in the hunt for European football. They currently sit 7th. They are only 2 points above Osasuna in 8th and Mallorca in 9th, and only 4 points above Sociedad. So they are in need of results, basically. I think this is a good opportunity to get them on side. They, like I said, we get a goal and a half. So if they lose narrowly, we get a winner. I'm more than happy to take that. It wasn't so long ago. I think it was done 2 weeks ago. They lost to Barcelona 4-3. It was a very, very late penalty that cost them that one. And they went to Atlético Madrid not long before that and drew as well. So they've got previous with this bet winning against the better teams, and I'll just take a chance on that.
I was looking in that direction as well. Fair play. I will make other plays. The first one, and I'll run through this quickly. Based on the price, this is a price play as well. Atlético Madrid to back them away from home at Alavés at plus 116. Like, for me, this should be maybe more of a minus 116 than a plus 116. Alavés is 17th in La Liga. They've played very good defensive football as of late. They beat Real Sociedad last time out. They've given up just 2 goals over their last 4 games. The problem is they don't score goals. At home, they've just scored 12 in 16 overall. Mind you, they've just conceded 16 goals at home, but they're very low scoring. Atletico Madrid have been a little bit of a yo-yo, but I still think that they are just the better team here, and it's hard not to back them at that price. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. I believe they slipped up against Las Palmas, but it's a price play more than anything. I don't love it, but based upon you're getting plus money for a vastly superior side going away from home against a team that can't score, I'll take my chances there. I Go ahead.
I was very tempted with that, and then just a quick glance at Atletico Madrid. Their away form, sixth in terms of expected
It's
points. They've
not
only won
great.
2 of the last 7 away league games, which is put. Obviously, they lost at Leganes, they lost to Getafe, lost to Las Palmas, drew with Espanyol.
Yep.
So yeah, I know Alavés are worse than most of
That's
those
why
teams,
I'm
but I was
making the
just like,
play, but
ugh.
I just don't have a lot of conviction with it. But again, that it's just based upon what the numbers provide, and based upon what's happening with Real Madrid right now. Atleti can still catch them and I think that there's some values, some motivation in that. I'm also going to oppose Las Palmas. They take on Valencia. This number has shifted a little bit. I'm going to back Valencia on the 0 handicap or plus 103. It's now moved to minus 102. I'm still fine in that territory. It hasn't shifted that much. Las Palmas is 18th place. They have 2 wins in their last 10. They have the third worst expected point total at home, and the second worst expected goals against at home in La Liga. Valencia's caught form. Like, you haven't been paying attention. Remember how bad they were at the start of the campaign? Now they haven't lost in their last 8 games. They've been the first to score in 6 of 8. Just 1 loss in their last 10 overall. They're 6-5-1 since the beginning of February, and the 4th most points over that span, and the 5th best in terms of expected points. So, at a draw, you get your money back. I think it's worth a play here against a poor Las Palmas team, even away from home. I'm fine making that. And then my other one, Valladolid is unspeakably bad. They play Barcelona, okay, who are obviously, this is the sandwich game between their semifinal of the Champions League ties. I think
Couldn't have drawn it up any nicer, could they?
I'm thinking that both teams to score plus Barcelona win could be the play here at plus 121. Hear me out. It's first versus worst. Barcelona's going to rotate. Even when they did, they still put up 40 shots against Mallorca 2 weeks back. As for Valladolid, they can't keep a clean sheet. They can't win. They haven't won in 14. No clean sheet in 14 overall. But they've gone over in their last 5. Both teams to score has played in 4 of 5. Those teams that they played against, they played Betis. They scored twice against Osasuna and twice against Atleti, and they also scored against Real Sociedad. So they can score goals. They just give up a ton. Barcelona beat them 7-0 in the reverse fixture. Barcelona, they've given up 18 goals away from home in 16, and they have an expected goals against that's even worse at 22.68. So last season, this fixture ended 3-1. That's the scoreline that I'm looking at here, which would be great. Both teams to score and Barcelona win at plus 121. Is that something you can get behind, Jake, considering the rotation that we expect from Barcelona in between the 2 Champions League fixtures?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'd probably want a little bit more juice in the price.
I thought it was going to be more, but
I probably would want maybe 140. You're basically having a bet on Valladolid to score, aren't you?
Yes.
And given that they've notched 24 and 33, I probably wanted a bit more. But like you said, rotation, it's definitely going to be on the cards. Although it does depend how the first leg goes. If Barca blow the doors off Inter in the first leg, you might see Yamal, Rafinha, Gavi, Pedri. They might all start on this one and rest next week. I doubt it, but yeah.
Highly doubt it. Oh, okay. To Italy we go. Any Serie A plays?
Yeah, I think we've got to get on board with Bologna in the big game against Juventus because they are just dead red hot at the minute. I know they had a disappointing result last time out against Udinese, but Udinese have got the capabilities to do that to teams. But since the start of November, only Inter have collected more points than Bologna. They've only collected 1 more point as well. So if the season started in November, Bologna would be second in the table. That's the same with expected points as well. Only Inter have collected more in that time period. We discussed obviously on the show how bad their start of the season was, but they quickly got it sorted. And they're right in the hunt now. They are just behind Juventus, 1 point behind them, with 4 games to go. Obviously, a massive opportunity to beat them here and overtake them and clinch some Champions League football. Their underlying process in that time has been phenomenal. 1.7 expected goals for, 1.0 against, and Juventus they've been okay in that period. Same defensive process, but their attack is far below what Bologna have put up. And
you can't trust
last
the Juventus side. You can't trust them. I'm sorry.
especially away from home. They away from home, they're winless in the last three, and they've created just a combined 2.4 expected goals in those games. So they've really struggled to create chances. And then prior to that, they beat Cagliari and Como. So I think they're easily opposable. You can back Bologna minus a quarter of a goal on the handicap at plus 110. Won't put anybody off backing them just to win the game at plus 147. And if you wanted to get a little bit greedy, the Bologna win and under 2.5 goals was something that sprung to mind, because I think this is going to be the goal line set at 2, so they're not expecting too many goals here, and I think it comes in at plus 383. And Bologna are not the highest scoring team. Juventus are not the highest scoring team. I think I could see this being a 1-0 either way, really.
Yeah, Bologna 10-6-1 at home on the season, the second in expected point total at home, and they've just conceded 14 home goals. This is against the Juventus side. Again, Yildiz is suspended. They lost at Parma 1-0 last time out. No wins in the last 3 away. They just have 6 away wins all season in Serie A. This game could end in a draw. I mean, that's kind of your protection by betting Bologna on the handicap, is you get half your wager back. But just on Juventus, 5 wins in their last 10, but they've all come against teams 12th or below in the Serie A table. Like, they can beat bad teams, especially at home. Away from home, not very good. So the history is also fascinating. Juventus hasn't lost to Bologna in 20 games in all competitions. Wow. So they're due. Let's put it that way. And the last 4 meetings have all ended up in a draw as well. 2-2, 3-3, 1-1, and 1-1. I'm with you. The exact same play on Bologna. Anything else in Serie A, or should I run down my litany of picks? Because honestly, I love the board this weekend in Serie A. It's been my most profitable league to bet in all season, and I'm happy to go back to the well heavily this weekend. Just a half.
Yeah, take it away. Take it away.
Just a half play, a half bet on Torino to win at home, plus 127 against Venezia. 3 wins and a draw in their last 4 at home. And Torino have conceded just 13 goals at home all season. Like, they're a decent enough home side. For Venezia, their only win their last 9 came at Monza at home. Does that even count? I mean, that's a layup for me. So I'll back Torino. I'm going to continue on the Napoli to win to 0 because it's played for me the last 2 weeks. This time they're at Lecce, who spoiled my Inter play last week because they did score a goal, but honestly, they're not a very good attacking side. 12 goals and 17 at home is the 3rd worst. They've also conceded 30 at home, Lecce, and they haven't won a game in their last 11. Napoli, 3 wins, no losses, 3 wins in a row, no losses in 8. And they haven't conceded a goal in their last 3 and have only conceded 14 goals away from home. Napoli haven't lost to Lecce in their last 5 head-to-head, haven't conceded a goal in the last 3 meetings. So let's make it a 4. And at plus 144 to win to 0 for the league leaders, I'm getting behind that as well. I'll also back Verona on the handicap against Inter at minus 106. Is that a goal and a half? It's because the Barcelona ties loom large. Inter are struggling right now. No wins in 4. No goals scored in their last 3. Verona, no wins in 5. They're not a very good team either. But including the last game, they've conceded just 4 goals in their last 6. They lost 2-0 to Cagliari last time out, but they were down a man in that game. So I think that this screams like an Inter 1-0 win. It's going to be a tight game. I think that Inter wins this game, but I just think that on the handicap at a goal and a half, considering the Champions League fixtures, that's just a half play for me, but it's a half play I'll be making. Lazio minus 120 at Empoli. This game means something for Lazio. They're just 3 points back of 4th place. Empoli stinks. No wins in 10. No clean sheets in 4. 10 points earned at home and 1 win overall isn't very good. Just 7 home goals scored all season long. And Lazio, I told you why this game means to them. They don't lose to Empoli. They haven't lost in 4. I'm happy to back Lazio here. Atalanta to win to 0 at Monza. Do I really need to explain this? At plus 106. Atalanta, 11-3-3 away from home, 36 points is the best away record and most points by 4. 11 goals conceded away is the fewest by 3. They're taking on Monza, who are absolutely I'm not even going to use the word. They're horrible. 1-5-11 at home, and Atalanta 5 wins and 3 clean sheets in their last 5 games against Monza. And finally, Roma, give me them on the handicap, -3/4 of a goal, -0.75 at -114 as they take on Fiorentina. Fiorentina have these 2 games against Real Betis in the Europa League. That's going to be the focus. I know Fiorentina haven't lost in their last 9 in all competitions, but they haven't kept a clean sheet in 3. They're not great away from home in Serie A, just 10th in terms of expected point total. Meanwhile, the Roma train continues to roll. I say this every week. They haven't lost a game in Serie A since December 3rd. Claudio Ranieri's all of a sudden put this team within touching distance of qualifying for a potential Champions League spot. They're rolling into Europe. That's 17 unbeaten in Serie A, and they're still the hottest side. They're up to 6 on 60 points here. So no losses in 6 in all competitions. The only game they lost was to Athletic Club Bilbao. That was it. And at home, they've been good. 11-2-4 on the season, 33 goals scored, 14 against. So that's my Serie A board. Any comments on any of those, or?
No, like them all.
Happy betting. I mean, it's just
best of luck.
Basically betting the board in Serie A this weekend. So it's
you betting the board in the Bundesliga as well.
I am not. But it's worthwhile to mention that RB Leipzig faces Bayern Munich this weekend in a potential title clincher for Bayern Munich. It's very much inevitable, but no Harry Kane. He is out through suspension, picked up a controversial caution in the last game that will see him miss out on this tie. Any play here, or is this just a watch and, witness Bayern Munich celebrate yet another Bundesliga title?
Pretty much that, yeah. Just not expecting too much. I think with no Kane, it does make me want to try and get Leipzig on side potentially. I mean, we've not been massively hot on Bayern all season, but they have done the best work away from home. But yeah, Leipzig off the back of that 4-0 defeat at Frankfurt, it's really difficult to trust them with any sort of handicap head start. So yeah, just be leaving that one alone.
Yeah, I'm watching the total with no Kane at the total of 3.5. I think the under might be worth a look. Because Bayern Munich, you mentioned their success away from home, 12.07 expected goals against away from home in 15 is the best. And they've only conceded 13 goals away from home on the season. So the defensive play has been very good. I'd back the total, if anything. And my only other play, and we're out of time, Augsburg to beat Holstein Kiel at -119. There'll be a play on that this weekend as well. All right, your podium plays. What are your top 3 bets of the week, Jake?
Number 1 is both teams to score over 2.5 in the Villa-Fulham match at +114. Number 2, I'm going to ride with Celta on the handicap, +1.5 goals, -111. And the number 3 is going to be Bournemouth half a goal head start at Arsenal at -128.
Okay, let's go. My top play, Napoli win to 0 at +144 as they travel to Lecce. You know what? Let's double up on win to 0s. Let's go Atalanta to win to 0 at +106 as they take on a horrific Monza side. And let's go goals at the bottom of the Premier League. Leicester City, Southampton, over 2.75 at -104. That's going to be peak viewing for me this weekend. Leicester City and Southampton. Then we can all look forward to them playing Wrexham and Birmingham City next season.
You might be the only person in the entire world that watches that game. That's not in the stadium. Yeah.
If you got a bet on it, it's absolutely worthwhile to watch.
I don't think I'd watch it even if I had a bet
on it. Come on. You're going to see the score pop up. It's going to be like 4-3. You're going to be, I need a bet for this. Jamie Vardy saying goodbye, scoring 6 goals in the process on Southampton.
Yeah, I don't. I think that'd be a tough watch. It'll probably be entertaining. I'm sure there'll be some comedic defending going on from whoever ended up playing Bednarek and Wout Fass. There's all sorts of comedians back there. So
enjoy it.
Look forward to seeing them in the champ. Yeah,
enjoy it. And Ricky Gervais and Joe Rogan, and add to the list any comedian. I don't care. Carrot Top, is he still kicking around? Step up. Take a spot at center back for Southampton. Make sure you hit the like button. Please subscribe to this podcast. We'll be back next week to do it all over again. Good luck with your picks and plays. And Jake, we'll see what kit you wear next season. I might have to step up my game and wear something good next week as well. So in the meantime, Pinnacle FC, this has been episode 41. Thanks for tuning in.